So the plan right now is to go to shore so that Bailey can take a shore break. She did go on her pad 2 mornings ago, but she hasn't since. We thought we had an early victory, but either she doesn't have to go, which I'm sure as soon as she gets on shore she'll go. But she doesn't seem to be in any discomfort, so that's good. And we're going to walk around. There's a trail right here. We're in Westcott Bay, and there's a trail over there. We're going to beach over there. Sorry, the windows are dirty. And walk the trail around and see if that takes us over to British Camp on the other side there, and then we'll get some good footage there. If not, we'll take the dinghy around over to that side. But I think it should be able to walk over there. Made it to shore. It's only our second time with the anchor buddy, so I made a little mistake. I dropped it too late. It needs to be further out, so we're not on the elastic part. But we don't have a big tide change. We won't be gone for long. But if you're not familiar with the anchor buddies, the idea is that you drop an anchor behind the dinghy when you're coming in, and then come into shore, and the elastic pulls it back out. So when you get back and the tide changes, it doesn't, you don't have to carry it, or it doesn't float away also. And then that's the forward anchor in there. And our shoes, hopefully, will be here when we get back. So Bailey's ready to go for a walk. Nice little trail here, nice and tree lined and cool. And now we're getting to a split in the river. Bell Point Trail that way, and I imagine this way goes to Garrison Bay. We are at British Camp now. The trail from Westcott Bay did come over this way around Bell Point, and it's really convenient to get here. If you want to go straight here by dinghy, over there we have the dinghy dock. So you can see, very accessible. You walk right up and you can walk straight into British Camp.
Not only is it accessible to British Camp, but you can walk out to the parking lot, and I think that there's a bus that goes around the island. So if you want to anchor here and get over to Roche Harbor or Friday Harbor,
anywhere on the island,
yeah. So convenient.
So you may be wondering why it's called British Camp. Well, a little quick history lesson. There was a dispute over the where the line between Canada, which was British ruled by at the time, and where the U.S. started, and so there was whether or not the islands were part of it. So on San Juan Island, the northern part, the British military had a camp, and the Americans had a camp down the southern part of the island. And then what happened in 1859 was something called the Pig Wars, or Pig War. Though no shot was ever fired, but there was a slaughter of a pig, and it almost caused an actual war between the U.S. and England. So here's kind of a little bit of the history. So when you come right up here from the dinghy dock, you can read up on it. And now we'll walk into the camp itself. So now we are arriving into British camp itself, or sorry, English camp. English camp is the correct term. And that trail was easy, huh? 0 on a difficult scale. Yeah, it was very flat. Really nice trail. And here we have English camp. That was a really good trail. I highly recommend it. A lot of times Garrison Bay back there can get pretty crowded, and Westcott Bay being larger and maybe not as popular, you got a better chance of getting a good anchorage. And the walk over here is very nice. You just need to beach your dinghy on the beach and take the walk over. It's fairly short, and again, it's completely flat, and it's a nice exercise, especially if you're being on the boat for a while. A little bit of walking is definitely due. But yeah, definitely highly recommend the Bell Point Trail, as it's called, and take it westbound towards Garrison Bay. Getting back to the fork in the road with the arrows to Bell Point, and away we go. Yeah, and then you said high voltage. I need to figure out how to reset the fault with it. So I got to pull the manual up because it's not a very manual generator. One of the downsides of electronics is you can't just push to go. So that's some researching to do. Right, found out the problem. Well, actually, don't know what the problem was exactly. We tried to start the generator, and it started, just kicked, and then it went down on a high voltage line to line. Now, this is a new generator, it's only a year old, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it, and it is all electronic, which is good and bad. But I just had to look up the manual, which luckily I had on my phone, how to reset the fault. So you have to confirm and say, okay, yeah, do you want to reset the fault? Reset it and start it and everything's good. So we don't know the initial cause, but at least now I know how to reset it.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Coming into Echo Bay at Sucia Island. We're in between the fingers. If you look at it on a chart, it looks like a hand with the fingers in between. And Echo Bay is, I guess, down at the palm of the hand. It's quite a popular anchorage. It can get pretty crowded. We're kind of late in the day. It's almost 4:30, so most people have come in and settled in. So not the greatest time to look for a spot. Probably the best time is between like 11 and 1. People get up, eat, and leave and go to the next place, and you can take their spot. But we got a little late, so we're going to have to sneak out a spot somewhere, and we'll let you know where we end up. Well, we just dropped the anchor. Nice spot here. Actually, it wasn't too crowded. Actually, able to find a spot. There's a few other spots around. There's also some mooring balls available too. We don't really do that much though. No reason not to. Let's take a look around. See, Amy's getting the bridle on, and the bridle is there. We may go over that at some point. In case you don't know, it helps take the weight of the chain and the pull off of the anchor winch, and puts it onto the cleats, which are designed to take that type of pull. There's the beach over there, and we're just waiting for everything to settle in, get the bridle on, back down on it, make sure she holds. Tonight's dinner is going to be corn and, again, Anacortes Market chicken. Definitely not the gourmet thing where we're getting farm to table. Well, we do that sometimes. So the big question tonight is, where did they find a three-legged chicken? Yeah, it's nicely seasoned. Should be really good. And this is our night tonight. Dead flat calm. This is always a beautiful anchorage. Well, we did spend one night here that the winds came up to 15 to 20 knots out of the south, which we are protected from that, but the swell came in. And the wind kept us pointing south. The swell was right on the beam, so it made the boat roll all night. I actually slept pretty well, but I had a fitness watch on and it said that I walked 15,000 steps or something. So that was good. I slept through all the exercise I got. Over here, there's the linear moorings. So if you don't want to anchor, you can tie to those to the side. Obviously, there's no power. It's like a regular mooring ball, but probably easier to grab. So really good for people that want to feel secure where they're at, but want a little bit of the anchor out type of feel. Really nice thing that they put those in. And time to close this down, get the fire down so we don't get a scarred or scorched chicken. Time for the big reveal. Corn on the cob with some butter and some San Juan salt seasoning. And then of course the three-legged chicken from Anacortes Market. Of course we have to have some type of non-meat corn thing. And Amy made the garbanzo beans and tomatoes with...
And peppers.
Peppers? Oh, peppers. Right.
The shallot vinaigrette from last night. I would love to have something green in there, but we're out of green stuff in the fridge, so... Besides
the broccoli, which
no one wants to eat, which is why it's
we
in
will
the
have
fridge.
it. We'll have it. We just don't do stir fry on the boat. Okay. We are coming to a fork in the road, so we can go right to Lawson Bluff Trailhead, North Shallow Bay Trail, and we're going to head over to the China Caves, real close. So up here is China Caves. The story is that in the 1800s they would bring in basically Chinese slave labor and hide them in here. There was also some story too during the rum running days of storing stuff in here, but that goes with everything. It's always either a rum running story or any old building is always a bordello. But that's the story, and I guess we'll stick to it. But they're limestone little caves. And you can climb up into them if you're brave.
My new shirt.
Amy's very proud of her new shirt from Westcott Bay.
Yay! My little shirt. Hello.
Well, that concludes 2 nights in Echo Bay, Sucia Island. Always a nice anchorage. One downside, it can get a little rolly. If there's a south wind, it'll come up Rosario Strait, kind of make the turn into the cove here. But it wasn't too bad. It rocked us asleep.
Yeah, it was a little annoying, but not as bad as the one time we were here.
Yeah, that was a good one. So we got some good hiking in, and Bailey got to do more swimming. So she's kind of wiped out.
I think she needs a little break from the swimming.
She's an old dog. And we're going to be taking off pretty soon to Friday Harbor. Going to spend a night inside the marina. We've got some reservations, so we can.
We have some provisioning to do, and we have a couple of technical things to chase down, which maybe you can talk about later if you want to.
Always maintenance issues to go. Yeah. So off we go.
Awesome. Cool.